All right, guys. So today I'm probably going to be very animated. And the reason why is because I'm extremely annoyed. Okay. I'm back to my regularly scheduled programming of being outraged at the left. Mainly because they're always crying victimhood, racism, some type of bigotry, something. Anytime somebody uses words that they don't like. Okay. I'm sick and tired of the attack on free speech. People trying to silence people simply for having opinions or even telling jokes. Which is what is happening to Dave Chappelle, as he went on SNL and he made some jokes about the Kanye, Kyrie, and anti-Semitism situation that has been dominating headlines. Again, Dave Chappelle is a comedian. He's making jokes. He's making light of the situation. And as we've seen in the past, when Dave Chappelle made jokes about trans people, people get outraged. The mob gets outraged when comedians make jokes about groups of people that they feel like should be protected no matter what, even from jokes. And that is what is happening here as the ADL is crying foul, they're crying victimhood over Dave Chappelle's jokes. So let's read here what the ADL is saying, and then we will play the clip from SNL, the audio, a quick reaction from CNN, and then we'll get into it. So Jonathan Greenback says, we shouldn't expect Dave Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see NBC SNL not just normalize, but popularize anti-Semitism. Why are Jewish sensitivities denied or diminished at almost every turn? Why does our trauma trigger applause? And then we got this tweet right here from this guy, Ivy Meyer. He says, it's coming fast and furious now. From Kanye West to Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ilhan Omar to Dave Chappelle, anti-Semitism is being mainstreamed to an extent that we haven't seen in recent memory. Now it's time for non-Jewish allies to stand with the Jewish community. We need you. Doesn't this sound familiar? All you have to do here is just replace anti-Semitism with racism and the word Jewish with black, right? And you have a pattern that is repeating itself, okay, over and over and over again. All right, so this is what he's saying. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and roll some audio from SNL and the jokes that Dave Chappelle was making. Take a look.
But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. And early in my career, I learned that there are two words in the English language that you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and Jews. I've never heard someone do good after they said that. Kanye's gotten into some scrapes before. Normally when he's in trouble, I pull up immediately. But this time I was like, you know what? Let me see what's gonna happen first. I just want to see where this is all going. I have a lot of Jewish friends, so I'm not freaked out by your culture. I know a little bit about it just from hanging around. I'll be like, yo, let's go out after school tomorrow. They'll be like, we can't go out. It's Shana Na tomorrow. I'll be like, what? What is Shana Na? I had so many questions. Why do some of your people dress like Run DMC? When Kanye woke up from that nap, he went right to work. A year ago, I'd seen him on a podcast called Drink Champs. Well, great show. But when he woke up, he went on Drink Champs again. This time, he was on one. He was mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things, and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Adidas dropped that nigga immediately. Ironically, Adidas was founded by Nazis. And they were offended. I guess the student surpassed the teacher. It's a big deal. He had broken the show business rules. It's just a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it. Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble.
That did not take long this didn't take long for the head of the Anti-Defamation League to respond, Jonathan Greenblatt, writing, "We shouldn't expect Dave Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see SNL not just normalize, but popularize anti-Semitism. Why are Jewish sensitivities denied or diminished at almost every turn? Why does our trauma trigger applause?" Let's bring it to the conversation now. It started, at least, with CNN anchor and correspondent Audie Cornish. Hello to you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. You had to know it was going to cause some controversy. So what do you...
Which was the point, right? Obviously, he was trying to show this is what it's like to walk some sort of line, some sort of rhetorical line. Everything about it was constructed to act out the idea of cancellation.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was more about cancellation, sort of bringing people's attention to cancellation rather than... Because this is what I heard from some of, Jewish folks, friends I know, said, I didn't think it was a big deal. He walked really close to the line. He straddled it, and others were offended by it, as Jonathan Greenblatt was. But the question is, if you're not offended by other things like comments about the trans community, even Dave Chappelle's own comments about the black community, then how can you would it be hypocritical to be upset about comments about the Jewish community?
Yeah, a rare moment there from Don Lemon in which he asked the right question. Is it hypocritical when it's totally fine to make jokes about black people, white folks, all these other groups of people? This guy has never said anything about that, right? He doesn't cry racism and all this other stuff, bigotry, when jokes are made about other groups of people, but you make jokes about Jewish people and now all of a sudden is anti-Semitism? Again, it's the same issue I had with Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, right? Candace Owens routinely says things that black people are offended by and tells black people to stop crying victim, right? And black people come out here and say, oh my God, Candace Owens, she's such a racist, she's a white supremacist, she's defending racism, she's offending me, I'm hurt, right? That's what they do. And I laugh at those people because they are playing the victimhood card. They should stop playing victim. Nobody is above criticism. But here's the thing. Those people get outraged and offended with the things Candace Owens says. Ben Shapiro never has anything to say about that. He doesn't care about those black people that are offended. However, what he does care about is Candace Owens defending Kyrie Irving and Kanye West in their alleged anti-Semitic comments, right? He does have an issue with that. Now, again, is he firing her? Is he punishing her? No. And I think that's a good thing. He's not. But what I'm saying is, he clearly has a problem with it when he comes out and says, hey, I kind of don't like the fact that you're defending people who are spreading anti-Semitism. But he doesn't have anything to say when Candace Owens is accused of defending racism. He's quiet on that. Again, I just find it interesting coming from somebody that is supposed to be anti-victimhood. I don't have any problems with Ben Shapiro. I think he has a good show. I agree with a lot of his opinions. I am just tired of people playing the victim card. I'm tired of victimhood politics, right? That's what I'm tired of. Because now it's getting to the point where it's sparking conversations about who's the biggest victim, right? Who can climb the victimhood totem pole the highest, right? For example, this conversation right here between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. Shannon Sharpe, somebody that was on board with all the other black people in the media that were paid to basically criticize Kyrie Irving for his tweet, okay? Now he's seeing it right on the wall. He's saying that, oh, they're continuing to punish this guy. But when it comes to when black people are offended by stuff, they don't really have anything to say. And it sparks conversations like this that I really don't like. Take a look.
Because when blacks have a misstep, it seems like we suffer the harshest penalties. It seems like other groups offend blacks, and they never suffer the penalty that Kyrie and Kanye have suffered. I remember when Bob McNair said what he said. What did they do? They went and trotted out one of the most prominent black coaches in the circle. And nobody said, well, when he said the Bob McNair that I know, that's not in his heart. Nobody said, hey, Tony, he's going to speak like that in front of you, like you just said about Kyrie to Adam Silver. You see, it seems to us, and it seems to me, that as black people say...
So on McNair, what are we talking about? What he said, the inmates run the prison or something like that?
Yeah, and it's the asylum. But he said the asylum.
All right, that's what it was, yeah.
But Skip, here's the thing. It seems like to us, a lot of us, not all, some of us, a large portion of us, is that black are bound by shackles. We're held more accountable for our actions and our words, where our counterparts are with cobwebs. They're easily brushed aside. Shannon, he apologized. He or she said they were sorry. Why can't we get the same benefit of the doubt? Kyrie was wrong, but I believe Kyrie was wrong, but I also can believe the punishment was excessive. So let me ask you a question, Skip. Shoplifting.
But real quick. Where we all lose is when we try to compare persecution of groups, because it's a never-ending battle. Are they persecuted more than the indigenous people in America were when we declared war on them and drove them off their land? Yeah. I don't know, and I don't care. Right. All I know is it was horrible what happened to the black people and the ones that originally were called the American Indian people, and to the Jewish people. But that happened over there in Europe where it started. It didn't happen on American soil. So maybe it feels like that was way over there. It happened, and we have around 7 million Jews living among us right now, and they need to be protected just the way black people and their feelings need to be protected. I got you.
We get those same protections? Are we afforded those same protections?
Okay. I would hope so. I don't know. It's difficult to go like with the McNair. So what should have happened to Bob McNair? Should he have been...
Nothing happened.
Should he have been forced to sell at that point?
But here's the thing. It wasn't what should have happened. Nothing happened. That's what the problem was. Nothing happened, and there goes my point, is that it seems to me that they can say things, and their actions, they're not bound by the same restrictions as we are when we say things or do things. And that is the problem a large portion of the black community have.
Shannon,
yeah, so in response to Shannon Sharpe, I can tell you right now, black people get special rights and privileges that other people don't get, that is not nearly as high on the victimhood totem pole. That's just a fact. Again, this is my problem. Everybody's trying to climb the victimhood ladder to say, I'm untouchable, right? I'm untouchable. You can't say nothing bad about me. You can't criticize me. You can't make jokes about me. You can't say nothing because I'm the biggest victim. Everybody who's ever lived on this planet, whether you be Asian, Black, white, Hispanic, Jewish, has had bad things happen to them based off their religion, their race, their sexuality, whatever. Bad things have happened to them. Everybody. White people have been enslaved as well too. White people have been slaughtered for whatever reason. Same as everybody else. But we should not have a society where everybody has to feel guilty about atrocities that happened in the past that we personally had nothing to do with. Okay? I say it all the time when people want people to feel bad over slavery. You want to guilt trip white people over slavery. Well, slavery happened a long time ago. Nobody alive had anything to do with that. Why should people get special treatment because, oh, well, something bad happened to them? Yeah, I feel bad about it. It sucks. It's terrible. But it's happened to everybody. People shouldn't receive special treatment to the point where you can't even make jokes about groups of people because, oh, something bad happened to them in the past. Like that, it's happened to everybody. If you go back in anybody's ancestry far enough, you'll find a way to pull the victim card and say, my people were treated bad. Dave Chappelle did not issue a call to violence. He didn't say anything, in my opinion, that even sounded remotely offensive. He just issued jokes. Jokes the same way he jokes about black people, white people, gay people. Right? He makes jokes about everybody, and nobody should be immune or exempt from comedy. Because the essence of comedy is that we're supposed to be able to all come together and laugh at each other. We're supposed to be able to laugh at the stereotypes. That's the point. But again, this is an attempt to silence him, to say you can't make jokes about these people. Totally fine to make jokes about everybody else, though, but just don't make jokes about us. Same card that the trans community pulled. We ain't got no problems you making jokes about everybody else. Just don't make jokes about us because, you know, we're victims, right? And the fact that this guy went and tagged NBC in his tweet, again, it shows you what's happening. He's trying to pressure them. He's trying to pressure them to say, look, don't platform this guy. He made jokes that I don't like. Don't platform him. That's what this is. It's censorship. It is a push to censor Dave Chappelle, to censor a comedian for making jokes. This is where we got into a society. And that is why these anti-American, anti-free speech, pro-censorship organizations like the ADL need to be defunded. They need to be defunded because they're nothing but a bunch of organizations advocating for censorship. That's all they are. That's all they are. That's the only function they serve. I'm sick and tired of victimhood politics. Everybody want to cry victim. Woe is me. My people got treated worse than your folks. Right? These people allowed to say stuff. These people ain't like I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. Everybody needs to suck it up. Okay? I'm just being real. Let me know what you guys say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.